Hey, what's up, everybody? Just wanted to tell you a quick story about a guy I was working with today. So, this is a conversation I have in some capacity on a regular basis. So, working with tactical population and the fire department and a lot of type A personalities, uh, people will look at a plan and they will become married to that plan and they will not deviate. And this can be problematic over time because they don't allow for daily, weekly, monthly fluctuations that are going to happen within the body for a variety of reasons. So, uh, anyway, there was a guy who came in and he was talking about how he has severe ankle discomfort, but he continues to squat. So, the first place I start is, well, what's going on with your ankle? And we start to look above that joint and we look at his calf and we see if there's any knots or adhesions in his calf. And then we go through some various ankle mobility drills to see if we can mobilize the joint, to see if we can alleviate a little bit of pain. Because if these guys are in pain in any capacity, they'll work through it, which is has its place and is good for the line of work that they do. But at the same time, it can actually detract from their ability to maximally train. So what we do is we talk about, yeah, the plan may say this or it may say that, but there are days and times where we may ramp up, and there may be days and times where we back down a little bit, because not every day is going to be a home run. Some days, and the majority of days, we're just looking to get a base hit. And what we're trying to do here is get these guys to understand that not just because something's written down on paper doesn't mean that you should be married to those movements. It doesn't mean that you should be married to that set and rep scheme, especially on days where you're not feeling 100%. So getting them to look at training and understand that there's variations of every lift that can take place is a big win. So, as an example, the guy was saying how he had back squats on the docket. Okay, fine. You just got done telling me your ankle does not feel very good. We got it better, but it's not fixed. What is an exercise that he can perform with just as high of a reward with a lower risk or a lower degree of pain? So then we start to look at, okay, well, what about a split squat? What about a lunge? What about all these things? And I'm just throwing some out there as an example. Well, this is a guy who's been following a specific regimen for a long time without any sort of deviation. And again, it's good because he has this mindset and this focus to show up every single day. And when he goes to work, he goes to work. But at the same time, he hasn't broken away from that training plan in any capacity. So when I have conversations with these guys, I talk with them about, think of it like this. We're trying to effectively ask your body a new question that hasn't been asked before so that it can go out and get a new response. Because if you ask the body the same question over and over and over again, you're going to get diminishing returns. So if he's been back squatting through pain for a long time, it's probably limiting him anyway. And just how good can he get while being uncomfortable? So opening his mind up a little bit about, hey, how much unilateral work are you doing? How much bilateral work are you doing? Are you working the muscle groupings in all of the capacities that they are intended to work? So as an example, if we look at the hamstrings, a lot of guys are getting plenty of hip extension work, but are they getting knee flexion work? And, having a conversation with a different person yesterday, he is getting plenty of hip extensions with his RDLs, but he's doing very few, if any, leg curls. So we look at the low-hanging fruit first. Where can we get some easy wins and start to alleviate some pain? And if we can build a capacity from there, that's great. Other things to look at are, what specifically are they trying to chase? What is their goal? Getting very, very clear on that and understanding what is the amount needed in order to accomplish that task. So when we define goals for these guys, we start with the SMART acronym. We want it to be specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time bound. And then we give the analogy of the minimum effective dose. What's the least amount they can do and still get a benefit? And then pushing past that, how is that going to affect the rest of your day, the rest of your week, the rest of your month? And then we look at the frequency of that. So I give them the analogy of, if they came to me and said they had a headache, I would start by giving them 1 Tylenol, seeing how they responded, and then we can always increase the dose of Tylenol from there, as opposed to saying, hey, here's 10 Tylenol, hope it works. And we slowly work up from there. So just a couple things to think about with your own training before you just go out and haphazardly pull a program from the internet or feel like you have to stick to something, because everybody's situation is a little different and everybody is going to respond slightly different to different types of stress. So this is usually due to variables of training age, of biological age, injury history, mobility restrictions, all of these types of things. So just because somebody wrote a training program doesn't mean you absolutely have to adhere to that 100%. There should be a bit of an adjustment, plus minus, and then you can auto-regulate that depending on how you're feeling that day. So anyway, if you have any questions, please reach out to me on dynamichp.net. Click the contact button, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. All right, have a good day.